We often get asked, which laptop brand is the best to buy? What a question! Some laptop brands are better than others, but sometimes the answer is, it depends on what's important to you. Some brands excel in design, others excel in value. So today, I thought we're going to have some fun, and we're going to rate each laptop brand on 5 categories. How innovative are their products? How stylish do they look? What is their overall quality of their laptops in terms of their build and the components used? How good is their support? And how competitive is their pricing? We're going to sum up the scores and at the end declare an overall winner. Now, this is based on the 300 plus laptops that we've reviewed. Stating the obvious, we haven't reviewed every single laptop. I'm sorry. Why I'm bringing this up though is that this is a general ranking based on what we've seen on average for a manufacturer in the last year or so. If you've personally had a good or bad experience, we want to hear about it. Definitely share it with a comment down below. Just keep in mind, most manufacturers, they do produce hundreds of thousands of laptops, so it is unfortunately pretty easy for a couple of horror stories to just slip through. Therefore, I'd only avoid a certain brand if there is a lot of bad experiences. Finally, we aren't going to rate a laptop's reliability. Unfortunately, we just don't use the same laptop for long enough to be able to speak to that. Anyway, with that said, we're going to start with the worst scoring brands and work our way right up to the best. Unfortunately, the first one is Gigabyte. In terms of innovation, we really haven't seen anything that innovative from Gigabyte in the last 5 years or so. They just seem to be a very generic, follow-the-leader brand. Their new Aero X16, which is a thin and light performance laptop, it looks mildly interesting, so that's why we're going to give them a score of 2 out of 5 for innovation, not 1. In terms of design, their laptops look really bland and boring, so 1 out of 5. Overall, quality of their laptops is pretty average too. When has anyone said the keyboard on a Gigabyte laptop or its speakers are top-notch? So we're going to give them a score of 2 out of 5 here. When it comes to support, this is one of those brands where you have to ship the laptop off and just hope for the best, so a score of 1 here. Looking at their overall value proposition, many of their laptops do offer decent specs for the money, but we've seen better, so a score of 3 out of 5 for value. That gives Gigabyte a total score of 9. Look, I must say, it's a shame to see Gigabyte so low here. There was a day, many years ago, when their Aero 15 laptop was one of the best in the industry. I really hope they return to that former glory. Next up is MSI. In terms of innovation, we do see them coming out quickly with new hardware, and their Titan 18 featured 4 upgradable RAM slots, so we're going to give them a score of 3 out of 5 for innovation. Design from MSI is pretty bland with the exception of the new Titan Northsmith AI. That at least helps them get a score of 2 out of 5. Quality is where MSI suffers. Here's some examples. The Prestige's chassis feels decently built, but they get crazy hot and often have high-pitched fan noise. The new Arrow Lake H version of the Prestige 16 is an absolute furnace. I think it's the hottest laptop we've ever tested. They also have weird keyboard layouts in many of their laptops, where the arrow keys are literally touching the page up and down keys. This causes a lot of mispresses. Then you have the Katana, which had the worst laptop screen of any budget gaming laptop we tested in 2024. You guys get the point, 2 out of 5 for quality. Support again, a 1. Just like Gigabyte, you have to send this laptop off and hope for the best. In terms of value, you'd think that MSI would offer a lot of value given their cheaper quality laptops, but they don't. Their prices just don't fully reflect this. So a score of 3 out of 5 for value. Look, all MSI laptops aren't terrible. They do have some gems. For example, the Prestige 13 with Lunar Lake is a really good laptop. It's one of Sierra and Gabby's favorites. It's incredibly lightweight, it has long battery life and a great screen. But as a whole, MSI needs to do better. Tying with MSI is LG. They pretty much just have a range of gram laptops, which are super thin and light for their screen sizes. When these were launched, they were very innovative, but now many manufacturers have caught up and even eclipsed them. Other manufacturers have come out with laptops that are just as light, but significantly sturdier and better built. Therefore, for innovation, LG is getting a score of 2. For design, their laptops just look boring, so a score of 2. Quality is fine, but as there isn't anything outstanding about their laptops, a score of 3. For support, it's the same situation as MSI and Gigabyte, so a score of 1. Value isn't bad, you often do see them for a pretty decent price, so a score of 3 for a total score of 11. Before we continue, I need to ask you for your help. We are trying to massively grow this channel. I hope you've seen that with our relentless focus on improving the quality of our videos and producing more videos. If you aren't already subscribed, it is something completely free and easy that you can do that will really help us grow. So please take a moment to click that subscribe button. Alright, just above MSI and LG, we have Acer. They are probably the toughest brand to rank. Their gaming laptops are actually top tier. Their Predator Helios 16 won our best budget gaming laptop. Their Predator 18 won our best 18-inch gaming laptop, and their Predator 14 is one of my personal favourites. But their consumer line, it just drags down their brand. So, for innovation, we're going to give them a slightly above average score of 3 out of 5. For example, the Predator 14, it packs a ton of power into a 14.5-inch chassis and it doesn't melt under the heat. On design, not Acer's strong suit, their laptops look really basic. The Swift we recently reviewed is probably their best looker, but it just looks like they've copied Samsung's Galaxy Books. Check out how similar the sides of these laptops look. So, 2 for design. Quality of Acer's consumer range is a 2, but their gaming range is superb and gets a 4. So we're going to average it to a 3. Support, same as the others so far, so a 1. Value is actually pretty good with Acer. Their gaming laptops are a 5 for value, but their consumer range is more of a 2. So let's give them an average score of 4 for value. As you can see, if Acer only had gaming laptops, they would be further up our list. Razer's Blade laptops, they are pretty special. They pack a lot of high-quality hardware into a compact, stunning-looking chassis. They also innovate in little ways that do make a difference. For example, their 14-inch Blade has upgradable memory, which is pretty rare. Their new Blade has Thunderbolt 5 ports. So I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5 for innovation. Now, as mentioned, Blades are well known for looking unique and stunning, so I'm going to give them top marks for design a 5. In terms of quality, Blades are very well built and packed with high quality components, but I can't give them a 5 for quality. Their keyboards have been atrocious. They feel very uncomfortable and low travel. Weird for a brand, by the way, that got famous for manufacturing keyboards. Anyway, this is apparently going to be fixed with their new Blade 16, but we haven't got one in to test yet. Also, their laptops, they get very warm under load. Their aluminium chassis, they conduct heat. So I'm going to dial them back to a score of 4 for quality. Now, with such a fantastic start, you must be wondering why Razer isn't higher on our list. Well, their support is woeful. I had to call Razer's call center on a number of occasions and it was awful. I was told to update Intel drivers on an AMD laptop. And when I pushed the rep, he admitted he didn't even use Razer laptops and is an Apple user. Look, this may have been just my rep, but just like MSI, Gigabyte and the like, 1 for support. Finally, value, clearly not Razer's strong suit. Their laptops are extremely expensive and rarely go on big sales, so a 1 for value. Next, we have a brand that used to be the leader for Windows laptops, but have made quite a few missteps and have just fallen a bit in our rankings. I'm talking, of course, about Dell. When it comes to innovation, I'm going to give them a 2. People could argue that their invisible trackpad in their XPS laptop's palm rest is innovative. Same goes for their haptic function buttons. But the issue with Dell's innovations are that they just make the experience of using their laptops worse. Where Dell does shine though is their design. I'm going to give them full marks here of 5. Their XPS range and their Alienware laptops just look stunning. In terms of quality, Dell does a decent job. I would have given them a 4 out of 5, but they've been cheaping out on their displays in a lot of their laptops, and display, it's a pretty core component. Plus, their cheaper laptops, they just feel pretty cheap. So I'm going to bring them down to a score of 3 out of 5. Support is excellent. There is a reason Dell, Lenovo and HP, they just dominate the business laptop market. All of them offer an upgraded level of support where someone will literally, they come to your house, diagnose and if possible, fix your laptop. They do it right there in front of you. I've had them do that for my one. As a consumer buyer, you can upgrade to one of these support plans. I was going to give Dell, HP and Lenovo top marks therefore for support, but one manufacturer has a little trick up its sleeve. So I'm going to talk about that one in a second, and instead I'm going to give these manufacturers a score of 4. In terms of value, a lot of their laptops are priced pretty crazy high, like their XPS line, now known as Dell Premium, and the Alienware line, also very expensive. Sometimes though, you can find a good Dell deal, but it isn't very common. So with that said, I'm going to give them a score of 2 out of 5 for value. Tying with Dell is Samsung. Samsung laptops are reasonably innovative. They come out fast with new hardware and they are very thin with great screens. Plus, they do have their own ecosystem, so 3 out of 5 for innovation. Design is where Samsung laptops just excel. They look really slick. I'm going to give them a score of 4 out of 5 here. In terms of quality though, it's a mixed bag. Their displays and chassis are great, but their keyboards feel low travel and their trackpads feel really cheap with horrible palm rejection, particularly the giant one in their 16-inch Galaxy Book. So I'm going to give Samsung a score of 3 out of 5 for quality. Support is a little improved based on them having some authorized physical locations that you can take your laptop into. I'm going to therefore go with a score of 2 out of 5 for support. As Samsung laptops often go on really big sales, I'm going to award them a 4 out of 5 for value. Therefore, Samsung gets a total rating of 16. Completing our tie with Dell and Samsung is Framework. What a stunning achievement for such a new laptop manufacturer to appear so high on our list, and it's warranted. They're the only one to get full marks for innovation. Their laptops are completely upgradable and they have swappable ports, so you can pretty much design your own laptop. But talking about their physical design, their laptops, they look very basic. Their colourful ports and bezels just end up looking a bit hodgepodge. So 1 out of 5 for design. In terms of quality, they do well enough but not remarkable. Their 13-inch laptops are stuck with a single fan cooling solution, which is just suboptimal, and it can lead to more heat and fan noise than comparable laptops. Their trackpads, speakers and webcams could also do with work, and their chassis just don't feel of the same high-quality materials as others at their price point. So 2 out of 5 for quality. For support though, Framework just crushes it. Full marks with a score of 5. No need to call someone when you can just fix your laptop yourself. They have easy to follow guides online, and their customer service, should you need to call in, is supposedly excellent. When it comes to value, look, it's questionable. They are pretty pricey for what you get. On the one hand, their laptops look bland and their overall quality just doesn't match their price. On the other hand, their laptops are unique. They are completely upgradable and have excellent Linux support. So it depends on what's important to you. I'm therefore going to give Framework a score of 3 out of 5 for value, for a total score of 16. Alright, now we're in the home stretch with very strong manufacturers. If you are considering buying a laptop and you aren't at least looking at HP, you're probably making a mistake. They give you an incredible amount of value for your money. In fact, I'm going to start with that category as that's the overarching theme with HP. Their laptops go on huge sales, and every time that we compile a list of the best laptops, HP takes a lot of spots. Their OmniBook Ultra and Ultra Flip can regularly be found for around $1,000, and they compete with laptops that cost $1,500 or even more. Their Aero 13 at around $600 is pretty much decent at everything, which is really rare at this price point. So full marks are 5 for value. In terms of innovation though, there really isn't any from HP. They make generic laptops. Some could argue though that they did adopt haptic trackpads pretty early, but I'd counter that as their ones just don't work that well. Many have palm rejection issues. Actually, HP has been putting Ryzen Zen 5 processors in their laptops pretty early on, so I'm going to go with a score of 2 out of 5 for innovation. In terms of design, again, nothing special. The OmniBook Ultra Flip and Transcend 14, they do look okay, but no one really buys an HP laptop for its looks, so 2 out of 5 for design. Quality though is good with HP, especially when you consider their value. For example, the OmniBook Ultra that I just mentioned is one of the few laptops that can regularly be found for under $1,000 that comes with a powerful Ryzen 9 Zen 5 processor, 32GB of memory, and has no massive cons. So a score of 4 out of 5 for quality. Support is again a very strong suit of HP, just like Dell and Lenovo, so 4 out of 5. Tying with HP is Asus. They've really stepped it up in the last couple of years. They get a very high score for innovation of 4 out of 5, mainly because they get new hardware in their laptops really fast. They were the first with AMD Strix Halo processor and the first with Intel's Lunar Lake. In terms of design, they're a little above average. Some of their laptops, they do look pretty cool, like the Flow Z13 and the Sapphirus G series, but others just look boring, like the VivoBooks. So we're going to give them a score of 3 out of 5 for design. In terms of quality of device, they do deliver for the price that they charge. They do very well here. Take the ZenBook line. You can often find them for around $1,000 or less. For that price, you're getting a decent OLED display, a great processor, a good quality chassis, and everything just works pretty well. It's a really fair deal. The Sapphirus G14s, they can often be found for around $1,000 too, and they have dedicated graphics, and they have a really premium chassis that comes close to the MacBook's level of quality. So, 4 out of 5 for quality. Alright, support is not great. Just like Gigabyte and MSI, this is a situation where once again you have to send your laptop off and just hope for the best. So we're going to give them a score of 1. I need to acknowledge though that Asus has had a recent scandal with their support department. Several buyers reported that they were charged for damage that was not the reason they sent their products in. Gamers Nexus does have a series on this which you can go check out. We hope that Asus has taken this seriously and made steps to rectify. They claim they have, but we'll have to wait to see. In terms of value, I think I've already hit on this. Asus is definitely one of the brands that gives you a lot for your money, especially when you buy one on sale, which you should do because they are always on sale pretty much, and their MSRP is not their real price. Their sales price is their real price. The MSRP, it's only there so that you think you're getting a good deal when it's on sale. Full marks are 5 for value for Asus for a total of 17. Next, and tying with HP and Asus, is Microsoft. They actually make a darn good laptop. They're reasonably innovative, they were a lead laptop with Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, and they have some pretty cool things with their Surface Studio and their older Surface Books. So I'm going to give them a score of 3 out of 5 for innovation. Design is pretty good too, especially their light blue coloured Surface. It's one of the prettiest laptops around, so 4 out of 5. Quality is definitely where Surface laptops shine. Every part of these laptops is premium. Their trackpads, keyboards, display, chassis, so 5 out of 5 for quality. Support is okay. They do have some locations that you can take your laptop into, but if there is a serious issue, it needs to be shipped off still. So 2 out of 5 for support. Finally, value. They actually do offer good value in their consumer range. Their Snapdragon-powered laptops tend to go on big sales, but unfortunately their Intel Lunar Lake versions, which many people would prefer to buy, are being sold via their business channel and they are pretty pricey. So I'm going to give them a score of 3 out of 5 for value. That means Microsoft finishes with a total score of 17 like HP and Asus. Finally, drumroll please, we are down to our last two. Our runner-up is Lenovo. When it comes to innovation, they are right out there. Screens that expand vertically to give you more screen real estate, webcams behind the display, folding screen laptops. Look, some of it works and some of it doesn't. But they really have their heart in the right place here, so 4 out of 5 for innovation. In terms of design, there are some pretty Lenovos like the Slim 7X, but most look quite generic, so 3 out of 5 for design. When it comes to quality, Lenovo does do a reliably good job. Their laptops feel well built, especially their ThinkPads. Their laptops have great keyboards. Their new ThinkPad X9 even includes a phenomenal haptic trackpad and top-notch speakers, so 4 out of 5 for quality. They only missed out on a 5 here because they do tend to skimp out on the little things like webcam and speakers, plus they still have to replace the cheap mechanical trackpads in most of their laptops. Support like Dell and HP for Lenovo, it's excellent, 4 out of 5. When it comes to Lenovo, many of their laptops bring a lot of value to the table, particularly when they go on sale. Take the Slim 7X, a fairly premium laptop, yet it frequently can be had for $800. You can use our website's crazy deals section and price tracker to hunt for sales like those. But Lenovo's non-sale price, particularly for their highest-end laptops, is just egregious. So 3 out of 5 for value, for a total score of 18 for Lenovo. Finally, Apple. In terms of innovation, their laptops, they aren't really that innovative, but their chips are. There is no denying it, Apple's M series of processors are leaps and bounds ahead of Qualcomm, Intel and even AMD's. So we're going to give them a score of 4 out of 5 for innovation. In terms of design, sure, Macs don't look as amazing as XPS laptops or a Razer Blade, but they really do look pretty good, so a 4 for design. Quality, everyone knows that this is where Apple laptops shine. They are really well built and feel premium, and they get a lot of the little things right. Their trackpads are best in class, their port selection and speeds are pretty good, their speakers and webcams also best in class, so a 5 for quality. In terms of support, they do decently. They have a lot of stores with Genius bars in them, but if the issue is serious, yep, you have to send the laptop off. So 3 out of 5 for support. Finally, value. This one was a tough one to grade. On the one hand, Macs are expensive, especially their upgrades, and they often push you to upgrade. Their new Air, it now comes in at $1,000 and is $100 cheaper. Seems like good value, but it's not really. It only has 256 gig of storage, which is paltry at this price point. So I'm tempted to give them a low value score. But when you step back and just look at what you're getting for the price that you're paying for a MacBook and how long they last because of their quality, their value, it's pretty decent, particularly if you buy a stock configuration and don't pay for expensive upgrades. Heck, we are now seeing a lot of Windows laptop manufacturers charge more than Apple for crappier laptops. So I'm going to give Apple a score of 3 out of 5 for value. That leads Apple to a score of 19, which puts them in the lead. Well, that's all I got for you. Big congratulations to Apple for taking this win, but as you can see, a lot of manufacturers were pretty close together in our overall rankings. One or two good or bad products and a manufacturer could just easily move up or down our list. Given this, I really urge manufacturers to just slim down their range of laptops so that they can focus on producing better quality products, not more, just like Apple has done with their MacBooks. At the end of the day though, manufacturers do have pretty unique pros and cons. You really have to pick what's right for you. On that note, I've given you my rankings. What's yours? Let me know with a comment below. I really want to hear from you. Anyway, check out our website if you are looking for the perfect laptop. You'll find all our specific recommendations there for different use cases at different price points. You'll even find a helpful price tracker to ensure that you're getting the best deal. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later.